Hello my loves, and welcome to another daily dose of astrological insight and inspiration. This is for Monday, the 17th of June 2024. I'm intuitive evolutionary astrologer Crystal, the crystalline priestess. Now let's take a look at what we have in store for us today. Okay, my loves, I hope that weekend was tolerable for you guys. I definitely was feeling a bit flat all weekend. I did not achieve as much as I wanted to achieve at all. And if I'm going to be perfectly honest, my loves, this week is really not going to be all that different. So I'm sure that the first thing you guys are noticing is the fact that we have Sun, Mercury, Venus, all still in Gemini, but all really at their highest degrees. So today we have Mercury and we have Venus 29 degrees Gemini, which is in an exact, beautiful, perfect, bloody square with Neptune at 29 Pisces and Lilith, who's at 28 degrees of Virgo. So that's a T-square, my loves. And we were talking about T-squares last week because we had two major T-squares. So now we have we have one major T-square coming in again today. So like I was saying all last week and over the weekend, we are just really being pushed through a washing machine of information, disinformation, misinformation, just information coming at us left, right, and center. And I'm sure if you guys have been paying attention to anything that's going on in the news or in the world at the moment, you might notice that an awful lot has come out around AI and around computers and technology and just changing of Apple products and things like that, and even to the point of America actually announcing that they are going to be doing the draft, which I have been talking about a lot over the past few weeks because I could feel that it was coming, and here we are. It just happened over the weekend. So look, if you still want to keep your head in the sand at this point, I don't know what to tell you, because this energy, these squares, this T-square with Neptune is showing us where the fucking collective is in a chaotic fog shitstorm. This is global sickness. Neptune is sickness. So when we're having the Sun about to start squaring with Neptune, but right now we're having Venus and Mercury already squaring with Neptune, as well as Lilith. And so that is just really tough energy that all of us are feeling the pressure of. This is causing anxiety. This is causing mental breakdowns. This is causing really big fear. This is causing worry, all these things that are really pushing on us. It's like a pressure cooker. It really truly is. And the problem with this being mutable energy and with it connecting with Neptune is the fact that we can't really see it properly. We can't see it clearly. It's not in our faces right in front of us. At this point, with these squares to Gemini, the writing's on the wall, but are you willing to read it? You know, it's about, I keep literally seeing an image of, isn't it ostriches that will put their heads in the sand when they're like freaked out or like being chased by something? Like, I don't know, don't they put their heads in the sand? I'm seeing people continuously trying to put their heads in the sand when there's threats all around them. And we have to accept that there is a global threat. All of us will be affected. All of us are affected. What's happening on one side of the world is affecting the other side of the world. Even if it's not physically seeming like it is, it's energetically smashing all of us. And you can see through these transits that we're going through at the moment, the entire collective is getting bombarded with information. And the media, with this Pisces 29 Neptune squares to Mercury and to Venus and Lilith, is that the media is in a frenzy at the moment. The media is showing us all sorts of crazy shit, and some of it probably true. Some of it cannot be trusted. It's about really having discernment at the moment, and with all this Neptune, really trusting in your version of how you connect with God. You need, at the moment, basically, it's like the real world is not going to offer you answers at the moment. This is us needing to turn to God and being in a symbiotic understanding of how to actually combine both what's happening for us reality-wise and realistically in our daily lives and in the world, as well as our connection to our faith and our hope and spirit. And being able to blend these energies together in order to sort of use that pressure to build us into a stronger mindset and a stronger way of moving forward over this. This is not ending. This is the craziness is not ending, my loves. You know, we're going to have periods of more craziness and less craziness, but we're in the astrology, we're in the time of the world that says things are not going to be getting easier, they're going to be getting more intense. So we're being pressure cooked into being able to handle the intensity of what's next through the intensity of what we're experiencing right now. This is an energy of not drinking the collective Kool-Aid. I cannot emphasize that enough. Not drinking the collective Kool-Aid. Don't drink the poison. Don't drink the beliefs that are being because all of this is pushing on Sagittarius. So don't be drinking in these beliefs, these dogmatic ideas of the exact ways of things needing to be, or, you know, this is religious stuff. This is putting all this pressure on Sagittarius, which is religion. So major blow-ups, major shit is going down at the moment, and I don't want these horoscopes are not meant to be negative, and I've been saying this on my Instagram as well. I'm not trying to be negative, I'm trying to be realistic. I'm trying to put the warning out there and to just, you know, take the rose-colored glasses off everybody's eyes, because they've been dragged off mine. So it's about taking the rose-colored glasses off everybody's eyes and actually seeing clearly. And the funny thing is, when I take my glasses off, I actually see things way more foggy because my eyes are fucked. So I almost feel like that's even a metaphor. So it's yeah, we can take the glasses off, but we're still going to be seeing foggy. We're still not going to be seeing things clearly. There's still a blur, you know, around what the fuck is going on for the entire collective. And so this is us just needing to move through the best way we can, which is by, you know, what are the facts? What are the things we can focus on? How can we stay busy even though things are really, really intense at the moment? It's not an energy of pushing and making things happen really quickly. Like I've said many times, Mars in Taurus, none of that stuff. It's about us at the moment being really open to new ideas and being open to research and exploring other avenues and communicating with God in new ways as well. Like actually having conversations. I'm hearing Conversations with God. That's one of my favorite books in the world. It's just here on my thing. I haven't read it actually in years, but I used to absolutely love that book. And so it's kind of giving me this, you know, energy where he wrote that book through just channeled writing, he just was writing. So this is maybe we're needing to journal things out today. Maybe we're needing to really write down what it is that we're thinking and feeling and some of the confusion that's coming up for us without a need to work it out, without a need to have, you know, a plan to fix it. This is not about so much fixing it. This is about us being aware of it and being open and not, you know, like I said with the Kool-Aid, not drinking in that Kool-Aid and poisoning ourselves anymore. This chart tells me that the collective is poisoned. The collective is poisoned by beliefs, by the media, by outdated systems and ways of being. All sorts of things, you know. We're having this Pluto that's retrograding, getting closer and closer to Capricorn. He's going to be in Capricorn by September. We're going to see things blow up by then. So right now is these pressure cooking moments, these moments that define us and define how we're going to be moving forward further. Also, and something I mentioned on my Instagram stories, was how did you react to the chaos of 2020? How did you react to the crap that went on then? Because that is going to show you where you might have a tendency to really lose yourself in the fog and the fear of what collectively you're being told is the truth and reality when it's not the truth and reality. Like I said it in my stories as well, if you haven't been looking at any of the news that's coming out about what those things did to people and are still doing to people, then it's really time to take the glasses off, like I said, and to start looking around and looking at the research and looking at the fact that we've been fucking-boozled. The entire collective has been bamboozled, and this is a chart to me that says we're still not wanting to see the truth and the reality of how badly we have been bamboozled and how badly it's affected population, pregnancies, everything. everything. Like if you actually start doing the research on that, it's going to make you mad and it's going to make you upset, especially when you look at the statistics of what's happened to children who had it and whose parents gave it to them. And just look, I'm no judgment or anything. Like I don't care what choice you made. My partner is vaxxed up. But we got fucking shat on. And I don't want to like sit here and preach and have people in my comments being like, oh, like I don't give a fuck if you don't agree with me. Do your research. That's what this chart is saying. Do your research, look it up. Because even with the moon being in Libra, 27 degrees, we have so much, especially on today, on Monday, we have so much energy that's hitting major critical degrees. We have Neptune 29 degrees. We have Sun 26 degrees, so it's getting closer, but it's not at that major degree critical point yet. So at the moment we have Neptune 29, we have Mercury 29 Gemini, we have Venus 29 Gemini. Also they're in a conjunction, so interesting. Then we have Lilith, who's at 28, about to reach 29 Virgo. And we have the moon, who's at 27 and, you know, throughout the day is going to actually reach 29 degrees and move into Scorpio by nightfall. So many planets, so many really, you know, we have 3 personal planets, 1 outer planet and 1 asteroid. So many aspects of our psyche, so many aspects of ourselves are being pushed on. It almost feels like us having to face things that we've really not wanted to face. It's like, and this is collectively, the collective now having to face a reality that none of us wanted to actually face. We all wanted to bury our heads in the sand. We all wanted to believe that everything was going to be fine and that shit wasn't an absolute breaking of society. Because it was. And when Pluto gets back to Capricorn, we're going to see the crumbling. Because Pluto he's crumbled Capricorn. So with all these energies today, particularly at such high degrees, it's just us really feeling just how intense things are and us really feeling just how much work needs to go into what it is that we're building and creating, even for ourselves, but as a society and as a collective, how much work at the moment needs to be done. It's almost daunting. All of us, we're needing to take as best care of our mental health as possible. Our mental health at the moment is our wealth with these Gemini, Pisces, Virgo squares. This is the most anxious the collective could possibly be. It's almost like we feel like we are on the brink. We can feel ourselves, and because Neptune, like it's a 29 degree motherfucking T-square. This is us being on the brink. We are on the edge of the cliff. We are the fool card who is about to fall off, you know? And so we know, we can feel it, we can sense it. And especially my sensitive people out there, I'm sure that you can sense this. You can sense that we're almost like getting to the end of this like cliff and we're about to fucking fall off and we're about to break down and things are about to pop off. So a bit of advice could be social media detox this week, especially because it's not until Friday, Australia time, that we're going to have the sun move into Cancer and finally finish up with that really strong square that's currently building with Neptune. So Neptune's going to be hitting us for the majority of the week, and then we're going to have a full moon on Saturday, and that's going to be in motherfucking Capricorn, isn't it? We're going to have 2 full moons this month in Capricorn. So this is preparing us for what's coming with Capricorn. Now, if we can give ourselves breaks and moments of release and relief in the middle of this chaos, do it. Give yourself what you can. And I really do feel like taking a too much in social media wise at the moment will really increase the anxiety. This is comparison and all those sorts of stuff. And just as well, like a lot of people are sharing their opinions, which is healthy and fine. Like we're meant to be sharing our opinions and our individual expressions. But don't be taking on everybody else's opinion and deciding that because that person made a good point that you need to take on that opinion as well. This is about the discernment being your highest capabilities this week. This is us also with, you know, as much as this T-square can bring really crazy mental health breakdowns and issues and just the chaos of the chaos, it also is an opportunity for truly connecting with your own dreams and with God and with what the divine has as a plan for you in this new world that is happening, that has already happened, that has manifested. This is you now restructuring these dreams because of this opposition with Lilith and in Virgo. You know, this is us having to see where reality and spirituality have to coincide. They cannot be one or the other. You cannot be all in the spirit world and not in reality, and you cannot be all in reality and not in spirit world. There has to be this blend, this symbiosis between all of it, and that blend comes through the mind and through the body. Virgo is an earth sign, Pisces is a water sign, Gemini is an air sign. So it's about emotions, body, and your mind, the way you're actually thinking and your attitudes and the way you're perceiving life. It's really powerful stuff. We're really feeling really powerfully activated this week. This is a week that is going to be bringing up an awful lot of weird energy and an awful lot of weird stuff, but it's coming up because we're having to you know, clean out what has been lying dormant and where the mess has been for a long time, and we've been trying to ignore it. This is, you know, everything's coming up from underneath the rug and it's time to face it, especially with the moon moving into Scorpio by the end of today. By tonight, we're going to have that moon in Scorpio, and it's going to start to, I mean, the moon's already making some lovely trines over to Mercury and Venus, and then when he hits Scorpio, he's going to be followed by Mercury and Venus, who are also moving into Cancer. So we are going to be having a shift of energy by tonight and by tomorrow morning. But today is just like really that pressure of like, holy crap, like you know, when the volcano is about to erupt, and then it's like, it's that pressure building, and it's almost like once the Sun, Mercury, and Venus move into Cancer, it's almost like that. I'm seeing it like a pimple popping. Sorry for that horrible reference, but it's literally like the pressure, and then the pimple just pops, and it's like almost a relief that it's finally popped off, you know? And that's kind of what I feel like this full moon might actually be. But this is needing to look at our goals realistically and to stick to our goals realistically, staying committed to our values, because with all this mutable and the squares to Venus and Neptune, this is us maybe getting lost in our values, and with the square to Lilith, not valuing maybe not thinking our values through, you know. This is giving me the energy of people who are protesting against things that they deem to be atrocities without knowing the actual realities, and you know, losing themselves in that, doing something that they're going to actually have repercussions from. Say they do something and the cops have to arrest them, and then they end up, you know, in this energy of having a criminal record and now having to face consequences for essentially just jumping on to something too quickly and without thought. And you know, by being led by this Neptune Lilith, which is saying like, this is my belief, this is what I think, this is like the idea that I have, without having the actual realistic evidence, and basing their reality off media, off what they see on a screen, especially with Neptune being the ruler of screens. So don't get lost in a screen. Don't get lost in, you know, even everything I say. Take it with a grain of salt and do your own research. This is about not taking anything at face value anymore. Nothing, especially this week. Nothing at face value. If someone tells you that they can fucking hover, if they can levitate, you make sure they show you that they can levitate. Otherwise, they can't levitate. This is suppressed feelings, thoughts, and ideas. So many things that we've repressed and suppressed for a long time. I feel like these squares are bringing them up. These are soul issues, soul desires, soul feelings, soul thoughts, soul values that you might have stashed down underneath the rug, like we said before. So things are coming up. Subconscious shit is really coming up. Subconscious ideas, maybe even dreams that you've held back in the reciprocal of your childhood, you know. And it's kind of like they're starting to slowly trickle their way back into your psyche. And it's like now needing to look at, holy crap, I can actually, you know, I'm allowed to have these dreams. I'm allowed to have these wishes and these wants. I just need to sort of ground them into something that looks realistic at this point in time. And that's hard because everything looks crazy at the moment, but this is us doing our best with what we have. Don't allow anxiety to convince you at the moment that you're not worthy and that you can't possibly achieve your dreams, that you can't possibly achieve a life that feels like it's beautiful and that it's healthy and that it's actually real and genuine. This is a day where we're able to see, I can actually make this shit happen even in the midst of all this crazy shit. Anxiety is going to try and convince you that you can't do it, and anxiety and overwhelm, this is that energy of anxiety and overwhelm. So you might be feeling like, today's a day where I want to throw in the towel, give it up, fuck it all, I can't be bothered, it's just too hard, I'm getting too anxious over this, it's literally too hard. So don't throw in the towel. take a deep breath, because like I keep saying last week, Gemini is the lungs and it's the hands. So do something with your hands creatively, whether it's cleaning. Maybe you need to do some cleaning. That might help to clear your mind, you know. It's just doing something that's going to help you process some of the heaviness that we're currently moving through. The information that is out there in the collective right now, the shit we're seeing on social media and everywhere, is some of the most foggy, fake, delusional information, crazy information. And not all of it's going to be fake and delusional, but a lot of it is going to be like, there's hidden messages in everything. Pay attention to the way the headlines are written. Pay attention to absolutely everything. Pay attention even to the news that they're wanting us to consume right now. There is a real fog here. There is a real, like, even with all the war stuff that's going on, it's like no one wants to mention it. No one wants to actually say it for what it is. Three of Swords in the reverse. You know, the best thing we could do for our healing right now is to actually face where we're wounded, to actually face where we're broken, to face where we're hurt, and even face where we're hurt by society. We have the Emperor and the Six of Swords coming out. So society, it's not where we're needing to put our energy and our focus today. This is about us needing to sort of face the music, I feel, with this Six of Swords, and pack up and go in a new direction. With this Emperor coming out, the Emperor is essentially, this is us. It's giving me this energy of us needing to build new empires that aren't based off essentially shitting on everyone else. And like, I'm not someone that is far left, far right, any of that stuff. I kind of am in this season of my life where I'm trying to learn and understand capitalism and shit like that, because the alternative really is communism, and like, what the fuck is that? Why the fuck would I want that? So there's a real process that I'm moving through, which is trying to understand about how do we have healthy organization in the future? How do we have healthy communities in the future, and healthy leaders and shit, and equity and equality in, like, you know, and not needing to strive for like wealth building and all this shit in order to be a functioning human, whilst also not actually doing the whole communism thing, because that is fucking evil as well. So, you know, it's like, I'm seeing a lot of people posting about how we need to like destroy capitalism and the patriarchy and all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah. Shit's obviously fucked up. But, you know, we need to be thinking about alternatives as well that aren't just this equal, everybody gets the same thing, because that's just not actually realistic. It's really not. And we don't live in tribal times anymore, as much as it sucks. Like, as much as it sucks, I am fucking Aboriginal. My family are black fellas. My partner is a black fella. I get the colonization thing, and I get that it has fucking destroyed Indigenous people. But with where we currently are and with how society is, there is no just erasing what happened and erasing the structures that we've already built. This is us now needing to work through new ways of going about the structures that are in place and finding equality in these structures, changing the way we actually move through these structures, doing all that sort of shit, because it's not as simple as just fuck the colony, let's just end all this now. You know, what the fuck is that going to do? Honestly, what is that going to do? And with these squares, this is us. You know, we are leaving behind the structures and the ways of life and the ways of being that we were taught have to be. But we're needing to do it in a way that isn't going to leave us even colder, even more emotionally distraught than we were by the systems that were in place. Because right now we're in the middle of a crumbling, and that's never an easy process, you know? Death is never an easy process. We have everything is fine. Get off your phone. Like I said, social media is going to be causing a lot of this anxiety, because it's almost like we're seeing so many people who are saying all this stuff, like, this is what we need to do, this is what we need to do, this is the way that things need to be, when the reality is none of us actually know. None of us know what the new reality needs to look like. We're in the middle of the history. Do you think that anyone during all these historical major times, pivotal times, knew what the fuck was actually happening in real time? It's only in hindsight that we can see how it all happened. We have the world coming out. So the world really is bringing up a lot of anxiety. The world is changing. The world is different. The world is hard to be in at the moment. all of us are feeling the sting. All of us are feeling the pain. But you see, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Even though there is so much darkness and even though things feel so intense at the moment, this is also us needing to be in our own emperor energy, our own power, our own sense of knowing that life, I just heard life begets life, and I don't actually know what that means, so I'm going to Google what life begets life means. I believe life begets life refers to the fundamental nature of nature. In harsh environments, life seems to start small and hardy, but once something is established, it creates the environment required for other forms of life. Wow. That's weird, because I didn't even know what that meant. I'm going to read it again. Life begets life refers to the fundamental nature of nature. In harsh environments, life seems to start small and hardy, but once something is established, it creates the environment required for other forms of life. So that's the thing, we need to start small. Starting small with the structure, changes of structure and the changes of government and all that sort of stuff. Starting small within ourselves as well, and just, you know, starting by just unplugging from the matrix, from the social media, and letting yourself think for yourself and doing your own research at the moment and not getting dragged down the rabbit hole. Especially like scrolling at the moment is going to just drive you crazy. So don't get lost in scrolling. Seriously. I actually like this Emperor because it does feel as though like there's a discomfort that all of us are a part of, that all of us are experiencing. But, you know, it's like it says, life seems to start small and hardy. Right now we are small and we're hardy. But once something's established, which is once we've established the reality that is shifting and where we're wanting to take it to, it creates the environment required for other forms of life. So we're going to be able to create something that is fundamentally open to being able to exist in other ways, which is awesome. We had the athlete archetype coming out. Light attributes is dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps, development of personal willpower and strength of spirit. Now, this came out a lot last week. So we're very much still in this athlete energy where we're needing to just, you know, I said before, like not pushing, but this is kind of like an energy of pushing, but also taking care of yourself. Like it says, transcending physical limits and handicaps. So a lot of us are feeling handicapped, and this could be the anxiety as well with these Neptune Lilith. It's like not realizing that you're putting things off in your business or in your goals or in your dreams, in your work, whatever it is, in your relationships, your family, you're putting things off because there's a fundamental anxiety about it. This is even making me think of like someone who wants to have a baby, who wants to get pregnant, and yet is so fundamentally afraid of what the world is going to look like in the future, as well as what giving birth and all that sort of stuff, and that it stops you from actually, you know, getting pregnant and doing the thing and going for it. Instead, you sort of sit in this anxious energy and, you know, time just keeps ticking away, and then you become more and more anxious because you feel like time is ticking, you know. It's kind of like this energy of just holding yourself up. Like we got to hold the world up right now through holding ourselves together, basically. The last card we have out is Messiah, serving humanity with humility. Shadow attribute is exaggerated belief that you are the only means through which a cause can succeed. And that's the thing, there are so many people out there. The shadow is that people think that they're the only way that a cause can actually be heard about, seen, understood. It's like people being in this righteous attitude of I know the way and here's what I think is what we need to do and this is the way forward. You know, it's just a really weird time in humanity. But serving humanity with humility, look at the planets there. This is, look, paying attention to astrology. Astrology is the truth. Astrology is essentially where, with all this Gemini rules astrology. So this is really where we're able to see things clearly if we're looking at the stars, if we're looking at the planets. This is as above, so below, really genuinely actually is legit, because what's happening up there is representing what it is that we are going through down here. Literally as above, so below. There is no differentiation. You know, in Aboriginal culture, the sky is sky country. Just like we have country. The land is country. The earth is sky country. It's all country. It's all the same thing. It is literally all the same thing. Earth and sky interconnected. So what's going on up there is reflected down here. So if you're lost, look at the stars. And you already are, because here you are. Anyway, I love you so much. I'm sorry this is once again a really long reading, but this is a really big week and I had a lot to talk to you guys about. So it's hopefully going to be a bit shorter for the readings throughout the rest of the week, but there's still a lot going on. We're going to have Mercury and Venus move into Cancer tomorrow. And then the sun's going to be moving a few days after that, and then we're going to have a really potent and powerful full moon, the first of two that we're going to have in Capricorn. Plus, we're only 2 weeks away from Saturn going retrograde, so we can really feel all that stuff too. I could keep talking for hours, but I'm going to shut up. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. I'd like to thank your angels, your ancestors, your higher self, your spirit guides, all the beautiful benevolent beings that are surrounding you and I in all moments for allowing me to receive and to deliver this message to you. If you would like to book a personal tarot or astrology reading with me for these crazy wild times, head to the links down below. Make sure you check out your channeled songs, and I will be in with another video tomorrow, my loves. See you then. Peace.